Hey, it's Sebastian here, and I've been wondering how I can create a better routine during my day to do certain things, like for example exercise. And you might have also tried to make exercise a routine or something else that you really want to install in your life on a regular basis. And so I looked at the literature that is out there, and I found one book called The Power of Habit. And it explains really clearly that a habit normally has a trigger, and once that trigger comes, you jump into your habit, and then you expect a certain reward. And I'll give you a simple example. For example, you come home, you see your couch, which triggers you to sit down, to do the habit of going on the internet, let's say Facebook, and then read all your notifications, and then you feel rewarded because you've caught up on all the notifications that there were. On reflection though, so that you saw there was a trigger, sitting down, and there was a benefit of feeling really caught up and, done your task. But on reflection you might think, actually, this is not the greatest thing to do every day when I come home. I wish I would have the enthusiasm to go out and go for a run. And that's a lot of effort if it's not a habit. But when it becomes a habit, it's a very, very different story. And so I've been experimenting with that. And so for me, a trigger that I've installed of my new habit of going for a run or exercise is I put my exercise gear right next to the door. So when I come in, I put my things down, and the first thing I see is the exercise gear. And then what happens is the habit starts to run because it gets triggered and says, exercise gear, put it on, go for a run, do weights, whatever you want to do, and then there will be a reward, which for me is I feel really good in myself, I feel my body feels good, and I have a body tiredness, which means I will sleep better, so I just feel really good. So I formed a habit there. And the amazing thing is, like, the effort is way less, because if you think about it, it's almost like a program that kicks in, that you don't have to think about, that you don't have to put effort anymore in it because you just follow it. And some people have perfected that to the degree that they just excel in whatever they do because they don't have to think about it anymore. So that's what I just done. I just saw my exercise gear when I came home, put it on, went for a run, feel already really, really good. And that's my reward of my habit. So I invite you to have a think whether there's something in your life that you want to change, that you found really difficult to change. And the first step is to think, okay, what is the trigger to this habit that I actually don't want to have? And how can I create a new trigger before the old one comes in? So, just quickly, have a look at, you normally go right to the fridge to do a certain thing. Maybe you eat some ice cream and you don't want to do that anymore. Put a trigger before you, just before the fridge, which might be glass of water, an apple or something like that, and you grab that instead and eat that and feel like, oh great, I haven't eaten the ice cream I wasn't meant to. And so if you do that every time you want to have ice cream, after a while it's just a thing to do. You do the apple. So try it out. That was just, I just made that up, but it is around, finding a new trigger and then rewarding yourself. And I highly recommend read the book Power of Habits, and it goes in way more depth of how you can reprogram, I guess, your life and get much more out of it. Yeah. Hope that was interesting. Do share it with friends if you think it might help them. You never know. See you again. Thanks for listening. Bye.